The purpose of the game is for the player to solve individual rooms. These are separate problems, one screen at a time, and the goal at each screen is to get fish and other creatures that happen to be in the screen out of the room. As the fish have no arms and hands, they can only pick and push the obstacles in their paths. Therefore, they have to cooperate in solving the rooms. For example, here they have to get this hooked item above the waterline. They will have to use the barrel because they themselves cannot break the water level. Note the big steel pole here. Only the big fish can manipulate these types of items, and this is how the abilities of the individual fish complement each other. The small fish, on the other hand, can reach regions the big fish cannot get into. In order to successfully solve the puzzle, you will usually have to use both of your fish. The goal of some rooms is not to free the fish, but to free some other animal. For example, this little crab. It is necessary to think ahead. For example, now we have blocked the way out. Because the big fish cannot swim here and cannot pick up the steel chest, but we can restart the room. So the little fish cannot swim through. Can't move the chest, so she's out of options. We've tried big, we've tried small. So the only thing we can do now is try this item here, the skull. We can push it down, wait for it. Oops, this wasn't good. Nothing can fall on your fish's head. Fortunately, we have undo in our game, so the player can solve the problems better. So we'll try this undo and do it the other way around. Now this looks better. The skull will fall right here. Now the small fish can prepare it for the big fish, and the big fish can now push all items at once. This is what we needed, and now the small one can get here and can push that die behind the steel chest. This completes the main puzzle of the room, because it's now possible to push the chest over the die where it will not block our paths anymore. Now we are almost finished. All that we have to do is realise that we first have to push down the book, so that we can use it to push down the cylinder a bit. The big fish has to do it, and the small fish can now go free the crab. Anytime the player gets a new animal to control, there is a simple room tutorial where the player can test the new animal's abilities on simple problems. For example, a crab can crawl left and right, it can climb one step up, and he can pick up items. He can go one way, he can go the other way. The crab, just like the small fish, cannot push the heavy items. So we shall need something in order to climb over the cylinder. We will push this item here. And now we are almost out. Oh, we aren't. We've fallen in the hole, and it's too deep, and we can't get out. So we'll use undo and try a more clever approach. Now it's okay. In more advanced phases of the game, the missions are more complex. The player has to consider the position more carefully. For example, here the small fish can get out easily, but the crab will have a big problem with this hole. We'll have to find some items to plug the hole with. This won't be enough, so after all, we have to put this bottle there. If when we plug the hole with this bottle, the crab will be able to crawl over it. And now the crab's special ability will come into play. It's one of the few animals that can leave water and can crawl above the surface, so we can try this. The crab will climb the fish, and the fish will carry him above the water's surface. Now, we've put the bottle into the water. Oops! But when something like this happens, we can use undo. Now it looks okay. Okay, no, there's still a small problem. The bottle can't go through here, and here it will fall down, so we have to take the high road. We've made it, and now the room is almost solved. Solving such a more complex room requires some invention, but the better the player feels when he succeeds. And if somebody is looking for a real challenge, there are hidden bonuses. For example, the little star the player can pick up solving the room. This is a really big problem because this chimney is too narrow, so we shall have to get there from the upper side. The step is too big. Actually, gaining the star means shrewdly using all items in the room. Getting a star is usually more difficult than solving the room, but nothing stops the player from solving the room and going back to get the star when he has more experience. And now, let's have a quick look how to get the star.